Survival of the Sickest is a book that explores life and how humanity has survived since the beginning of time. Hereditary disorders and diseases that never die out throughout evolution must be present for a reason, like to survive and reproduce. Hemochromatosis and Alzheimer's could correlate with each other as a benefit to survival. The book reveals a new view of life.
Because hemochromatosis is having too much iron, bloodletting, which is intentional bleeding to cure illnesses, would cause the iron levels to stabilize. Iron is the center of all life on Earth. North Atlantic has a lot of iron because of the iron-rich dust from the Sahara Desert. Therefore, it has more life in the waters. Pacific does not have a lot of iron because of its location being in the center. This causes the water to be blue and lack diversity of life.
Diabetes comes in three forms: 1, 2, and 3. Generally, diabetes 2 affects mainly adults, but now it is beginning to increasingly affect children due to poor diet choices of newly pregnant women. The disease in general involves insulin, which is either simply rendered useless by overuse or is not made by the pancreas, which means the body cannot take in ingested sugars as energy. Evolutionarily, organisms have shown to react similarly to cold. Grapes, frogs, and surprisingly humans expel water and jack up their sugar content in the face of harsh weather. This could be why so many humans have diabetes. Recent ancestors caught in a freeze would not have frozen to death, which may have preserved their genes until even
Because they cannot efficiently absorb UVB rays from the sun. The ApoE4 gene comes in handy here and allows for increased production of cholesterol, so there's a higher chance of cholesterol conversion by UVB rays, since many are available. If you're Asian, there's a 50% chance that one drink of alcohol can turn your face bright red. This is called the Asian flush or alcohol flush response. Usually when alcohol is consumed, the body detoxifies it. A gene called ALDH2, present in many Asians, isn't effective in detoxifying alcohol from acetaldehyde to acetate. Therefore, the buildup of acetaldehyde causes them to appear drunk, with blood rushing to the face, chest, and neck, along with dizziness and nausea.
Favism is caused by a lack of G6PD that break down radicals in the cells that can break cell membranes. This can also lead to anemia. Humans have evolved over time to register plant toxins via taste. For example, chilies make capsaicin for animal specific. This makes extremely spicy that adheres to mucous membranes.
Humans are surrounded by foreign organisms all the time. Research is finding, however, that organisms can manipulate other organisms' behavior for their own benefit. The guinea worm, for example, can make humans stick their foot into water, and the wasp can make a male spider spin its web. Many organisms have learned to adapt themselves to other organisms' behavior.
DNA can be modified by random mutations, but also by gene jumping. Jumping genes are DNA sequences that cut and paste themselves to a specific location in a genome to serve as an intentional mutation. The jumps are a genomic response to internal or environmental stress that cells can't handle in their existing setup. An interesting defense against smallpox is cowpox. Edward Jenner developed the very first vaccine. He scraped a cowpox score on an infected milkmaid and purposefully infected teenage boys, and they were immune to smallpox. Cowpox and smallpox are similarly structured, so the antibodies that fight cowpox also fight smallpox.
DNA methylation evolution shows that genes are not immutable. Parents still pass the same genes to their children, but new genes are expressed. This deals with epigenetics, how children express their genes without actual DNA changes. Surprisingly, a good nutrient-rich diet yields a healthy child, while a typical American diet produces problems like diabetes, high cholesterol, and triglycerides. But the mother's diet is not the only thing that can affect the child. Surprisingly, the father's behavior, such as smoking cigarettes, can also affect the sperm and therefore the outcome of the child.
Huntington-Gilford progeria and Werner syndrome are very similar but different in that progeria starts from birth in children. They experience accelerated aging, and children generally do not survive through their teen years. Werner syndrome starts accelerated aging after a child has puberty. These diseases are also referred to as the orphan disease because they are so uncommon and haven't been the focus of research.
So all living things evolve together. Disorders present in the world can overcome other disorders to extend human life. Life is complex, and the more we look at it, the more it seems like a miracle, and the more we appreciate it.